Welcome back. It's been a minute. My apologies. I know you haven't heard from me in a while. I actually did record 2 videos, but I don't know. I didn't love them, so I didn't post them. Maybe I'll just post them at some other point. But the bottom line is I'm back. It's day 122, which is absolutely insane. When this whole thing started, you get 12 to 18 months is this common timeline you're looking at. And I had mentioned early on that the 18 months is 540 days. So to consider that we are already 122 days in is just bananas to me. But nonetheless, we have a job to do. We have information to give. I know a lot of you have reached out wondering where the videos are. Uh, there's really no good reason. I've just been slacking and lacked a little bit of motivation, but we're going to get back on the horse. We should be good to go. So that means there's a lot of updates. Let's start with today. I just had my third MRI, and I'll set the stage with the MRIs. Here's the deal. I had an MRI when I landed in the hospital initially at the beginning of February. And then that's when they identified the actual tumor. I then had another MRI at the beginning of May. And the thought behind that was, okay, is the tumor growing? That's the biggest point. And so it wasn't necessarily what they had said was, what the doctor said was, most doctors said that the MRI scan showed that it was bigger in size on the MRI scan, but that was likely due to inflammation. Because when I got the laser treatment, anytime you burn something, heat something, obviously there's a reaction, you're irritating it. So they attributed the growth that they saw in the scan to inflammation. So what their point was, well, over time, it should shrink. So it begins, it's normal to see the inflammation, to see it show up as growing, but now we should start to see it shrink. So what the goal was for today was, worst case scenario was that it got bigger. Best case scenario was that it shrunk. Minimum expectation was that it was the same size. I went to Hopkins. It's the first MRI I've done at Hopkins. Got the MRI done, and it was the same exact size, almost exactly the same size. So it was good. I won't say it's great, but it's good news. Nothing needs to change. That MRI, I'll send to Duke to get their feelings on it, their sentiment on it. And as long as they feel in line with what Hopkins says, really, there's nothing that's going to change. We're going to kind of continue with standard operating procedures, which is just continue with the chemo, which I'll get into. So third MRI complete today. Pretty good news. Tumor hasn't grown. Fourth MRI will be at Duke. So I'll head back to Raleigh. The date hasn't been set. It'll be set soon, but it'll likely be the first half of August. I'll be down in Raleigh to go visit Duke, and I'll likely subsequently be doing an MRI every 2 months. Most will be in Hopkins, but from time to time, I'll go down to Duke since they're my primary. Moving on to chemo. Finished my second round of chemo. My third round of chemo begins on Wednesday, June 8th. Second round went better than the first round. Still nausea. But I feel like I have more energy back. So the past week or so, I've had really good energy. I've had a tough day here and there. One of the days, I want to say like 4 or 5 days ago, I was just nauseous all day and laid up in bed all day. But for the most part, if there's 28 days in the cycle, I'd say over 20 days energetically, I feel good. So that's good news. Hoping round 3 goes well. Again, round 3 will start June 8th. I'll take Timidor, which are my chemo pills, for 5 days, and then 23 days off where I won't take the pills. 6 rounds, again, so 6 months is the minimum time I'm going to be doing chemo, but I may actually end up doing it 12 months. So after 6 months, Duke will let me know, do they want me to continue? Do they want me to continue and do it through this 12 months or stop at 6 months? I think most likely they'll make me do it 12 months, have me continue for 12 months. All depends on the results. So chemo, so far, so good. It's not, it hasn't been crazy. Not really kind of related to chemo, which is the radiation. Good news. Hair's coming back. Check this out. So this was the bald spot. So it's coming back. I still got some jacked up hair. Don't mind that. But it's coming in. So the locks are not gone forever. Now, so we'll see. But anyways, it's the little wins that count. How do I feel? I feel good. I think I've mentioned these subclinical seizures where I've missed my meds and I have this onset. They're called like auras, where they're indicators of a seizure that's about to come up. They've happened twice when I've forgotten to take my meds. However, since then, I've had auras and similar seizures. So when we say subclinical seizure, we'll just say that's a seizure where you're conscious. And likely, if it's left unattended to, then it'll turn into an actual seizure where I'll be unconscious. So we fortunately caught them all before I've become unconscious. And it was actually not a huge deal that I was missing the meds and having a subclinical, because at least you can point out, oh, well, you didn't take your meds. I didn't take my meds, so I had the subclinical. What's been a little bit scarier is I've had subclinicals when I've still taken my meds. I had one incident 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, and I had another incident today where I've taken my meds, I followed protocol, and I still had this subclinical seizure. And what it feels like is it starts with a headache, and then I feel like I'm in a tunnel, or like I feel like I'm in like a glass tube, and all the sound is muffled, and I feel dizzy and extremely nauseous, and a metallic taste is in my mouth. It's a horrible feeling. It's a horrible experience. And then I just take my anti-seizure meds. So that's a short-term solution. However, since it happened a second time today, that's something that I need to speak with Duke about, because it's a bit disconcerting, and it's something that I haven't really had an answer to why that's happening. Overall, though, physically, like I said, I still feel good, but it does give me a little bit of cause for concern. However, hopefully we can get that straightened out. Hopefully the chemo stays the same or gets better. MRIs look better. And so the horizon looks good moving forward. A lot of exciting stuff going on for anybody who attended the golf tournament. We shout out to Barcosina, Shane and CJ for coordinating that. That happened last Monday. Sellout, had a blast, perfect weather. Next on the docket is potentially West Coast trip, bucket list, Northern PCH. And then the big 4-0's coming up. So my 40th is coming up. And so we're planning on going out there for that. However, a big family and friends gathering, Puerto Rico, has been set for August 20th through 24th. So if anybody's interested, hit me up. Let me know. We're having a crew down there. So I'm excited for that. Looking forward to Puerto Rico and being around loved ones for that. So a lot of good stuff going on. Events that are in the works that should be happening, looking really good. And so everything's on the up and up. We will be doing another short order in the next week or two. We'll do the order. And that's all I'll give you. I won't share much after that. However, sake and consideration of time, those are the updates. Hit me up. Let me know if you guys have any further questions. Much love to everyone, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.